Vagina.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight, Middle Earth Edition. Now, as any honest and decent person knows, Sauron is not a figure to be taken unconcernedly. This wasn't up for debate even a few years ago, but all of a sudden, you've got militarized Nazgul patrolling the Shire and threatening the ability of its citizens to travel freely. So why are some of Middle-earth's residents, namely Saruman the White, signing off on it? What's really going on here? 4 unassuming hobbits, not warriors, not politicians, are embarking on a journey that would daunt even the most seasoned adventurers. Why? Because when the fabric of freedom is threatened, it's the duty of every citizen to stand up to tyranny. Period. When did we forget how to say, well, actually, no, you can't just enslave the whole world. Sorry, that's not how things work. And let's be clear, these hobbits aren't delusional. They don't believe they can defeat such darkness on their own. But we all get the sense that they understand that standing up to evil, no matter how insurmountable it seems, is what separates the moral from the cowardly. Anyone with a pulse and 2 brain cells can't help but feel inspired by a story like this. Courage isn't just a word. It's the pillar on which every civilization worth remembering is built upon. The moment we forget that is the moment that evil wins.
What's up? What's up, everybody? That was very prompt. Welcome to a Monday Nooner. Monday Nooner, square up, little both. Yo. We got Nick's X Herring, Piston Burner. We got a letter and a bunch of numbers. Hello. Sergeant Hatred, Rusty Heckler, Jagrut, Pidian, Joe Dog, Lance Corporal Waffles, latent homosexual every day, big boy, every day, Battle Gnomes, Noons, Gary, Dancing Godzilla, not me, Gary, but he spells it right. Not that 2R shit. Then it's Gary. What the hell's that? The Tiki Bond, DJ Wiederman, and K. Schwabel. Is it Schwabel? Schwabel. Schlurpo. You have been witnessed. Read this, says Len. I did. Hail to the fellowship. What's up? Yeah, we're doing a square up today. So today we're gonna do the ones from Friday where we shut them off today because I have to start recording a video for a movie I should not have seen already. but I did. So that's what I'm doing today. Then start on the year-end videos. That's what I start on next. Be very exciting. Very exciting. We got some stuff to go over today. An actress decided she needed attention, so she called out Zachary Levi because he supported Trump. So they're going to start that crap on him. It's not going to work. Probably would have destroyed him in 2016, 2020. I don't think it's going to work now, but people will do that. A little bit, I know you come here for all of your hip hop news, your breaking hip hop news. We have some breaking hip hop news from last night that everybody's seen already, but we will discuss that. Because we're on Rumble, so fuck it. I know we're on Nerdrotic Live too, but we're on Rumble. A couple trailers to go over. One looks pretty good. Not too sure about the other. Well, I am. It looks like shit. So we're gonna do that. Let's see. Were you able to get Freren from It's a Gundam Gary? He said he had it. He had it on his hard drive and would send it to you. He messaged me and I gotta send him an email back. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, I'm gonna get it because he says he has it. So there we go. Let's let's do we want to open up spicy today? Yeah, sure, why not?
But before that,
do you have the read?
Oh, it's in the chat.
It is in the private chat? Okay, but
Yeah.
before that, sorry. You did have it in there. Thank you. What would I do? Without the ladies in my life? I'd get lost. Okay. Today's episode is sponsored by 1775 Coffee. It's time to make mornings great again. Well, mornings have been great again. Actually, I always kind of like them when I do wake up in them. If your coffee tastes like it's been passed through the same filter as mainstream media headlines, well, you deserve better. Enter 1775 Vitality Coffee. Not just coffee, but brain fuel for anyone who refuses to settle for mediocrity. Lion's mane and reishi sharpen your focus. I don't know if I read that right. Sorry. Faster than a Twitter argument with a blue check mark. Well, or on blue sky. Cordyceps powers your energy without the crash, and your hand-picked Bolivian beans. Well done, Bolivians. Deliver flavor so bold it makes corporate coffee look like decaf. Decaf at a Biden fundraiser. Oh my God, where everybody's asleep. Weak, pointless, and forgetting why it's even there. No filters, no woke nonsense. Just coffee that's unapologetically rebellious as you are. Proudly backed by Rumble, the platform that stands for freedom. Head to 1775coffee.com. Use code Nerdrotic for 15% off, making mornings great again with coffee that stands for bold flavor, uncompromising quality, and freedom Rumble fights for every day. God bless America. God bless America. All right, so we will smoothly transition from sponsor to Jay-Z. Diddling younglings? It's an accusation. It's simply an accusation. Let's see here. I'm sure we'll just get out of here, you ad. I'm sure we'll discuss this more in our highly anticipated Gay Black Rapper segment on FNT. But until then, you'll just have to deal with my hip hop expertise. Okay. Now, we know the true connection to a friend of ours that we need to discuss right now with all this. And I think it's just we get it out in the open. Jeremy Griggs, a homosexual man, biggest Beyonce fan on the planet. He is literally in the fetal position right now. So upset that something might happen to his beloved Beyonce, her angelic voice, her poetic lyrics. He's very upset right now. Oh, thanks. He's very upset right now. I got a coffee refill if you want to know what was going on. Jay-Z named with Sean Diddy Combs in a sexual assault lawsuit. Jay-Z calls claims idiotic in fierce and fiery response. So this is weird. Okay. I know nothing about hip hop, honestly. But I do know all the accusations that have been going around from these parties for years and years and years. So I will say if something like this happened, I would not be surprised at all. But there were no criminal charges filed at the time. I don't know how the statute of limitations works for some states. It's just a few years. In the case of, I don't know about this case, but I know in the case of murder, it never expires. So I can't remember about this, but this is from the year 2000. Jay-Z, aka Sean Carter, was accused Sunday in a civil lawsuit of graping. I'm still on Rumble. I mean, still on YouTube here. A 13-year-old girl in 2000 with Sean Diddy Combs. This stuff is dark, dude. Jesus Christ. The lawsuit, which was first filed back in October, originally listed Combs as a defendant. It has since been refiled the name of Carter as well. The accusation comes from an anonymous Jane Doe who claimed Combs and Carter raped her in 2000 after they brought her to an MTV Music Awards after party. Okay. A 13-year-old. 13-year-olds usually rolling around in Paramount-owned MTV Music Awards after parties. I asked that question knowing the answer. How about any after party for any award show? Any 13-year-olds rolling around there? Okay, maybe if you won an award and your parents and bodyguards are around you, still no. In a fiery response on Sunday afternoon, Jay-Z claimed his lawyer was sent blackmail. Okay, we have to put this out there. That shit happens all the time. Anybody rich and famous, that shit is happening. If they're at risk for that anytime they walk into a room alone with somebody. Okay. So both things can be true. We have degenerate celebrities, and we also have money grubbing people. And the thing is, that celebrity still might be guilty of something, but just not that thing. Who knows? We don't know. This is the risk you run when you party all the time. You become compromised. That's why it's not such a, I think it's a pretty open secret at this point that some people can think politically one way, but then there's a little video shown of them or some pictures or some information that makes them, I don't know, root for a candidate. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out to the organization, a PAC, something, get some compromising information from like For example, an island in the Atlantic, or that subdued named Epstein, or a Diddy party, or a Playboy party, or any of that. And then they go, well, we really need you to start stumping. Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's really on board for destroying women's rights, we'll say. Letting dudes, drop a deuce in the women's bathroom kind of stuff, and trying to scientifically back it up. Kind of interesting. He went he's always been kind of like this, but he went pretty hardcore after he was Me Too'd by four women accused him, and all of a sudden he just got right in line. Right in line. Just throwing it out there. These are all hypotheticals. I don't know what's going on. Especially before my first cup of coffee. Oh yeah. 13-year-olds at an MTV Music Video Awards after party. That part doesn't surprise me. In a fiery response on Sunday afternoon, Jay-Z said the lawyer is blackmailing, I can speak, surrounding the allegations from attorney Tony Busby, who's got a past, we'll just say, in an effort to pressure him to settling out of court. Carter went on to say that it had the opposite effect and instead inflamed Carter to expose his accuser of the fraud they are in a public fashion. Well, if they're a fraud, they need to be exposed. We'll see. We'll see. Innocent till proven guilty, Is there a lot of smoke coming from that fire? Yes. Innocent until proven guilty. I think Diddy's done. I wonder if he turns on people. I don't know. The thing is, though, if he's going to turn on people, it's got to help him. It's got to help him. So he flips and he doesn't get like a life sentence or something like that. But I don't know what they would entice him with. You've made a terrible error in judgment thinking all of these celebrities are the same. I'm not from your moral world. I'm a young black man who made it out of Project of Brooklyn, Carter wrote. We don't play these types of games. We have very strict codes of honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. So there. Did he write a letter too? I thought pretty sure he did, saying, I'm going to fight this. I'm innocent. Oh, shit. Okay. I have the right to remain silent. Okay. Yes, sir. In a response to Jay-Z's response, I love when we get responses to responses. Maybe they'll EFAP each other. That would be awesome. If they just do video responses and then just, they just react to each other. And then they can react to the reaction and then react to the other reaction. It's like having a mirror, staring in a mirror with a mirror behind you, and it just goes forever. That's what I want. That's what I want. It's the future of YouTube. He filed his frivolous case under a pseudonym. What he fails to say is, in recent statement, is my firm sent his lawyer a demand letter on behalf of all alleged victims. That victim never demanded a penny from him. Instead, she only sought a confidential mediation. Since I sent the letter on her behalf, Mr. Carter has not only sued me, but has tried to bully and harass me and this plaintiff. His conduct has had the opposite impact. She is emboldened. I'm very proud of her resolve. Combs was jailed at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. He is, by the way, not was. New York, after he was arrested September 16th on charges of racketeering and sex trafficking, denied bail by two different judges. Combs will remain incarcerated until his trial on May 5th, 2025. That's going to be a circus. Are they going to televise that? And could face life in jail if convicted of the racketeering charge. Holy shit. Is that going to be on camera? Woo! we'll learn nothing. Okay. I'm a hopeful guy for the most part. For life overall, I don't black pill. I don't black pill. But we're going to learn nothing from this. Keep your expectations low. And if you do, and I'm wrong, or whoever agrees with me is wrong, that's good, because then we find out something. Been wrong about things before. Many times. One of the first assault lawsuits against Combs came from his ex-girlfriend, singer Casey Ventura, on November 16, 2023. She accused the rapper of physical abuse, rape, and sex trafficking. The lawsuit has privately settled the next day in undiscovered terms. On May 17, 2023, CNN released security footage from a Los Angeles hotel of Combs assaulting Ventura in 2016. Shortly after, Combs released a video on Instagram apologizing and claiming he had hit rock bottom. NBC News was the first to report the lawsuit. Jay-Z's response: is this in full? Whatever. I mean, he has a right to response, innocent to proven guilty. Same with everything. Yes, we were told to believe all women. But this is it's a 13-year-old. It's a 13-year-old at the time. How do you put this? Homeboy better hope it ain't true. Because if it is, well, I don't think he'd get arrested for anything. I don't know. We'll see. They arrested Diddy. Oh, okay. That is your hip hop segment. East Coast, West Coast, yo. I'm obviously West Coast. Okay. Even though I'm in Texas now. Yeah. What about the center? What do we get? I watched Landman picked up it was kind of it was getting very character focused, and then some stuff happened this last episode that was pretty good. It's pretty good. So Landman still holding up. Still fun. Still holding up. It was well, I don't want to spoil it for you. Left on a pretty good cliffhanger for this episode. It did. We'll find out what happened. Oh, let's look at a terrible trailer, shall we? No, let's look at okay, what do we want? Good first, or let's do bad first, and then we can have palate cleanser. That's usually how I roll. All right. Guys, remember Star Trek? Remember this little show called Star Trek? Yeah. So, little show called Star Trek. Used to be good for many, many years. And then Enterprise ended with, at the time, the most disappointing season finale in Star Trek history. And then it died. Came back briefly for Picard season 3 and basically can't call it a fan film project. It is backed by fans who have actually worked on Star Trek, and we got Unification, which was beautiful. There's other ones too, but Unification is peak. It's so good, and that's all the Star Trek we've really had since 2005. So almost 20 years. Everything else you've seen is fake Trek, is Kurtzman Trek. It is awful. It is antithetical to everything that show is about. It's as the people who are the showrunners and the writers have a fundamental misunderstanding. They have tried since to bring in Star Trek people. It has not helped in the least bit. Strange New Worlds, this is going to be a cooler one, is just as silly, if not as dumb as Star Trek Discovery, including but not limited to singing Klingons. And I'm telling you, it's tough to find something as dumb, not just scientific, not just dumb science fiction, just dumb as Star Trek Discovery Season 1, Picard Season 1, and Strange New Worlds Season 1. Then they tried to make it Lower Decks. They've tried to make Star Trek Star Wars. They've tried to make Star Trek Marvel. The next one is going to be trying to make Star Trek Harry Potter. They've tried to make Star Trek Rick and Morty. What they haven't been able to do until Terry Matalas came around was make Star Trek Star Trek. So Terry Matalas had to put together parts in a cave from the awful Picard Season 1 and 2 and made something not only watchable but fun, and it gave Star Trek fans something Star Wars fans will never get. The crew of the Enterprise on the old school, on the D, flying out to the Star Trek theme, to the Goldsmith Star Trek theme. Did it take some maneuvering to get there? It sure did, and I loved it. They rewarded him by letting him go. And now he's off to Marvel. Terry Matalas is off to Marvel. And we are getting a couple of things. We're getting Star Trek Academy, which was originally sold as Harry Potter Star Trek. Because, Academy, they both have schools. Remember when Doctor Who tried this? Chat? Remember Class? Remember Class? The original series is better than the original series. Star Trek is king. So remember Class, where they tried to do a Twilight-ish, Harry Potter-ish thing with Doctor Who? Yeah, lasted one season. We're also going to get. We were promised. Remember, this was way back in the Season 1 days. We were told that is Section 31, Star Trek Section 31, the covert Section 31, which is essentially one guy that we've seen for the most part throughout Star Trek, was one guy. That's all section. There was it was a covert organization. So we were promised a series with Michelle Yeoh, who puts in her worst performance as an actress. It comes off as your mom on Halloween trying to play a whore. It just comes off all wrong. And that's her performance pretty much. Or a madam. That's too late. I just said whore. World's oldest profession. So they never got the series because it never got greenlit. It got greenlit as a movie after Michelle Yeoh won an Academy Award for Everything Everywhere All at Once. All of a sudden they go, hey, we have her signed on to this show. We should make something. And that's all Star Trek has been, his content. We should make something. Hey, Season 2, that Iron Man is hot. Let's make Michael Burnham. Let's put her in a time-traveling Iron Man suit. Let's rip off. Oh God, what's the video game they ripped off? And I'm, major gamer. What's the video game they ripped off in Picard Season 2? What was the video game that they ripped off in Picard Season 2? Everybody was telling me over and over again, this is just a ripoff of this game. Mass Effect. Thank you. Mass Effect. So they ripped off Mass Effect. There's scenes in Picard Season 2 where they use stock photography. Everybody found that. Alex Kurtzman's had a propensity to pay homage to things by completely ripping them off, including but not limited to Mass Effect, 2001. Major Grin has a meticulous accounting of all the shit Alex Kurtzman has ripped off in Kurtzman Trek. And it's in my reviews, but Major Grin is like, he'll do side-by-side comparisons. I'm assuming it's a dude. Ripped off a great many things. Logan, And they admitted this, right? They also ripped off a pixel artist for the tardigrade in Star Trek Discovery Season 1. So we finally get a trailer for Section 31 and a release date. So again, this thing was announced back in 2018. 2018. So let's see how Star Trek it is. And remember, we just saw Unification. A lot of you out there saw Unification. Not as many people like Picard Season 3 as much as I did. Don't care. I loved it. So that's kind of like the last thing I've seen was Unification and Picard Season 3. So let's see if they've learned. There's I wonder what Dave Cullen thinks. Oh, hot garbage Trek. Love Dave Cullen. Here we go. How you always start out Star Trek. Boom, boom, bam, bam, bam. Fucking get the fuck.
Here's a customer hoping for a word with you.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Let this be our last battlefield. And now it's like, I was hoping for a word with you.
Word with you.
Remember the original series? No, not from this. Not from this. Not from this. Oh, God.
Bring him.
Okay, so little background. This is Captain Georgiou. She was, did I say captain? Well, she was the former emperor from the Mirror Universe. She was brought in from the Mirror Universe because they went there in season. Oh, it's all that, man. Season 1. So she's been from season 1, and she's brought over into what is still to the Kurtzman Trek timeline, where she is. By the way, this is Space Hitler. Killed millions of people, and but she's a girl boss. So we're gonna bring her in, and she's gonna have a redemption arc and everything, and she's gonna be like totally cool. And listen, it is so cringe in season 1. There's lines like, I don't know how your tiny little male brains comprehend that kind of bullshit. It's like, it's because it's written by a bunch of catty dudes and women who wrote soap operas. That's why. So yeah, this is the former emperor in the Mirror Universe. In the Mirror Universe. Hang on a second. All right. So, played by Michelle Yeoh. And it was supposed to be spun off automatically, but it didn't happen. And we got this great movie. This just fantastic movie.
What are you doing in my space station?
I'm giving you a chance to get back in on the action on a galactic scale.
What a cute idea.
Oh, fuck off. It's so Star Trek. I hear the echoes of Roddenberry's message in that's so cute. Jesus Christ. So another thing with Philippa Georgiou, is she went with Michael Burnham, or Space Jesus, as we like to call her, and her entirely cis male free crew, which was the whole point. And they're like, this is the first Star Trek crew without a white straight male. Oh, you don't think people said that? People said that. That was the whole point. They also said that about this is the first TARDIS without a white straight male. Progress, folks. Progress through racism, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, she went to the future because they had fucked up Star Trek so much because it was supposed to be a prequel to the original series, but the tech was so insane and just didn't match up. They got tired of hearing about breaking canon, because canon's hard for Alex Kurtz to remember that one. He's all, canon's difficult. I mean, I got to do work and stuff. So they put them to the future, farther in the future than they've ever been. And we found out that the Federation had fallen due to a retarded alien missing his mom and screaming and destroying all the dilithium across the universe at one time. I can hear you. You said, that sounds retarded. You're right. That's when I was out. I'm like, peace out on Star Trek Discovery. I know there was 2 more seasons, but I was like, okay. So, but Georgiou was sent back. Now, I can't remember what timeline she was sent back to. I don't care. I guess we'll find out. I don't know if she's in her original prequel timeline or in the future. I don't know. I don't know.
The only way this works is if I know exactly what I'm dealing with.
We're facing a threat unlike anything Starfleet's ever seen.
Oh my God, they're facing a threat unlike anything Starfleet has ever seen, since the next threat that will be unlike anything Starfleet has ever seen. It's spies. So why not, whatever. Oh, also, Section 31, covert operation, works in the shadows, does the dirty work or necessary dirty work of the Federation, kind of like like an operative from Serenity, like an operative. But I think the key to a covert organization, correct me if I'm wrong, because I might be overstepping my bounds. Maybe, I've never been in a covert organization, so maybe I'm wrong. But I think you want to remain covert, in the shadows, on the DL. You know what I mean? But no, they have badges. They have badges that are easily recognizable as the Section 31 badges. They have giant bases where people know where they are, and ships. They also have who's our best covert employee of the month plastered all over every starship. And it's always Philippa Georgiou now. That bitch gets the covert employee of the month every month. They have badges. They have fucking badges. This might be the gayest Star Trek ever. I don't know. Strange New World, pretty gay. All of Star Trek Discovery, super gay. If I remember at the Star Trek convention, they were asking each star from each series who was alive there, and they had a representative. I think they had all the doctors from all the series, minus, of course, Dr. McCoy. And they asked, what differentiates you from each show? And they all said, well, ours was the first, we're focused on exploration. Ours was more introspective. Ours, was, the first time in war, blah, blah, blah. And the doctor from Little Ricky from Star Trek Discovery said, we were the most diverse. They weren't. But that's what he said.
Billions of lives are at stake. Gather your people.
The only thing that's at stake is the brain cells of the people who still watch this.
We're gonna need every one of them.
31 is a Black Ops division. Spy work.
And there's a badge. Here's your badge.
Just a place for people to bend the rules.
Starfleet is here to make sure no one commits murder.
Oh, God. Oh.
Whatever you believed your mission was, is worse than you thought.
How do we stop it?
We work together and don't get dead. I'll try my
And don't get dead.
hardest.
You ready? Let's get messy.
You don't
Remember when people who are literate can write
answer her questions directly,
and did write?
she will punch you in your face.
What? You said that she was going to be doing the face
I
punching.
lied.
You have no idea what you've started.
If this is the best from, like, trailers are supposed to show off the best. I got to say, man, this acting is phenomenal. I've seen better acting in a porn.
This is going to be bad.
Okay, that's the first truthful thing this trailer has said. This is gonna be bad.
4, 3, 2, 1.
We survive together.
Together. Okay, you guys aren't gonna know this, but that's a thing. So towards the end of almost every Kurtzman trailer, not most of them, there's somebody going, "We do this together. We have to do it together." And they put in a together. They did it. Because marketing has told us that if you say together, it means like we're actually a team. We actually don't all hate each other and want to plunge knives between our shoulder blades. At least that's how people who have real relationships in the real world, that's how I'm told it works. But here in Hollywood, we just say together because we think they like it, because we're not really sure how to be human anymore. We're told that those little plebs that we fly over all the time, they like family and they say Christmas still. They want their boys to grow up to be boys. They're so backwards, and their girls to grow up to be girls. Such backwards people. But I guess they like this word together because it means like togetherness or something. Are you gay? That was my marketing executive at Paramount. You're welcome. Been working on that performance. The marketing executive at Paramount is a 45-year-old woman who adopted 2 black boys and transitioned them into black girls. Her name is Skylar. Wow, that looks like shit. Let's watch something good. Let's watch something good. Reacher had a really fucking good first season. Like a really good first season. Second season, it wasn't like terrible. It just wasn't as good as the season 1. I gave it a 7 out of 10. This one looks like it's a return to form. We'll see. But it certainly looks better than fucking Section 31. And this is coming out pretty soon, too. So this is a palate cleanser. Yeah, that looks better. I mean, it's a teaser. Comes out in February. That's good. Got a lot of stuff coming out, actually. I mean, not counting freaking Section 31. I honestly don't know if I'll. I stopped Kurtzman Trek after Strange New World Season 1. I was just like, no. New. Niet. But yeah, we have Clarkson's Farm in May of next year. I know I'm forgetting. Oh, 1923 comes back, I think, in February. Reacher. Oh, Wheel of Time. Disparu's so happy. Hang on, gonna DSP here. You know, DSP could get a cough button. He'll outlive us all, though. On the internet, he'll outlive us all. Good for you, buddy. Where was I? Oh yeah. So yeah, Wheel of Time is coming back for season 3. And if you want a kind of a foreshadowing of what Rings of Power is going to look like ratings wise and just like as far as people caring, you'll take a look at Wheel of Time, which is no Lord of the Rings. Let's be real. Popular, very popular, but it's no Lord of the Rings. No Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that's coming back in March. Yeah, I didn't think season 2 of Reacher was great, Chris, but I liked it. I watched it again. Yeah, I liked it. I mean, you know what? Tulsa King, season 2 might have been better than season 1. It's hard to say. Reacher is dead to me. Is that because Alan, is it Rich? How do you say his last name? I always get it mixed up. Alan, not Rickman, Richson. Alan Richson came out as an idiot. Came out as a typical adult pretender. I know he's a Christian, but he's I guess kind of woke Christian. I don't know how that works, but man, there's a lot of weird things, you know. So yeah, full of TDS. He's been quiet lately. I don't know, but maybe he hasn't because I don't go on Instagram. I don't go on Instagram. I don't go on TikTok. Ryan gets really upset when I say I don't go on TikTok. He's all, but you have one. I'm all, well, I didn't start it. I have an Instagram. I don't even open the app. Melissa handles all that. I'm on YouTube and Twitter most of the time, or neither. Richson, yeah. Bit of an idiot, but good as Reacher. Good as Reacher. You know, that's the kind of guy, like, I don't care if you feel that way. It's always when you tread into, and he didn't do this. Okay. You could, if you have TDS right at this point in time, that's certainly your problem. I don't have to deal with it. It's pretty obvious to identify, and it could be terminal. It makes people stupid. It breaks their minds. But as long as you don't like tread into, and say that shit, I don't give a shit. As long as you don't tread into, well, half the country's fucking stupid. Half the country is a bunch of retards. Half the country, is illiterate. You don't have degrees and you should worry about them. What happened to the literate male articles being written in the New York Times? Well, the answer came on Twitter when that headline started going around. It's when publishing became extremely female. So men still read. They just read older books, history books, but fantasy is turned into romance. Science fiction's turned into fanfic. Superhero comic books are turned into fanfic. And that is because it's been injected with a lot of estrogen. Now, I think balance is good. I'm an egalitarian guy. And I like to hear other people's perspectives if they know how to fucking write, not if they're from a neighborhood or if they have a certain skin color. I just need to know if they can write. I don't really give a shit about anything else. But yeah, they need to make things masculine again. And you know what? When masculine shit comes out, does okay. Does all right. And it's the easy, like an action movie is the easiest thing to make, right? Hollywood's pretty good at explosions. They've been doing that for a long time. And action choreography when they do it with actual humans. But that's what's happening. And you're also finding out that your institutions like these colleges where parents are wasting hundreds or tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars are teaching your kids either how to hate you or to become more retarded at this point, because it is just, they often make fun of royals, as they should, for inbreeding. Well, it's a bunch of mental inbreeding at college. That's all it is. It is the backwards, whatever part of your country where there's an isolated community that either thinks they have some royal bloodline to preserve or there just ain't nobody else. But it's mental inbreeding. That's what's going on there. So that's why a lot of successful people are either college dropouts or high school dropouts. Look at not everyone, but look at a lot of the innovative CEOs that are. Now, there'll be plenty of CEOs, regular old CEOs that have those degrees. And what are they? Administrators. They're not innovators. They're administrators. Say trade school. Learn something useful. Learn something that AI will not be able to replace very soon. Very soon. But yeah, that's what happened to all these institutions. They got taken over by woke white women, the bane of our existence. And hopefully that falls apart very soon and we start getting like really good stuff. But there's been a lot of just tons. Hollywood is still coping. All right. So we got, everybody's going to miss Ava Longoria, right? Didn't Ava Longoria just say she's moving to the UK? Pretty sure she did. Pretty sure she did. I could have sworn I heard she was moving to the UK because of Trump. Oh, look at that ad. I'll get 2 tomorrow. The 2025 Golden Globe nominations. Full list. I should actually look at that in a second. Ava Longoria from Desperate Housewives, yes, says directors, writers will suffer as Hollywood DEI programs shut down. Oh no, the Desperate Housewives star. How old is that show? Talked about problems ahead for diversity, equity, and inclusion across the industry as she appeared at the Red Sea Film Festival in Saudi Arabia on Friday. Are you complaining about equity in Saudi Arabia? I'm just checking. Hey, Saudi Arabia lets their women drive now. I'm not saying Saudi Arabia is as bad as, like Syria is right now. But what? These dumb. Oh my God. All the sexism in America. Where is this interview coming from? Saudi Arabia. What the fuck? Holy shit. I did not catch that part. They drive now, says Chris. Oh. Hey, hang on a second. Yeah, it seems pretty normal with its laws now. That's a recent event. Syrian rebels for pride. I can't wait till we see that sign, buddy. oh, stay out of it. Stay the fuck out of it. I don't want anything to do with it. That's their problem. America first. Ava. Okay. So about problems in Saudi Arabia. Okay. So as major players in Hollywood walk back on earlier commitments to DEI, Ava Longoria says she hasn't given up on her push for greater diversity, except you're leaving the country. Equity and inclusion across the industry, the entertainment industry. By the way, this, you know why they changed it from equality to equity? Of course you all do. You're a smart audience, because this means less white. We're going to make things less white. We are going to, in the name of progress, we are going to fight discrimination with discrimination. Because us as movie stars and our platforms and our brand, it makes us look good if we're not racist, okay? The kind of pendulum swing of DEI programs being cut back means a lot of directors and writers from those programs will suffer. Or, they'll just have to earn their way up like everybody else did. Because they give up opportunity where opportunity is not usually there. Ava Longoria, who is a successful producer in Hollywood, has produced, has made a career outside of, and good for her, outside of her very limited acting skills that had her in a series. So thanks to this country, a pretty much day worker talent actress got this popular because she was hot and she was in a series and was able to work that into something else. Was that the system acting against you, or was that the system working because you put the work into it? Hang on. I could have sworn I saw this. She clarified now. They did not move family out of the United States because of Donald Trump. That's good. That's good to clarify that, because nobody is. Everybody's going to the UK is because that's wherever they're fucking filming everything. And because of the tax break. So all these stars going, I'm going to the UK. It's because they're producers, they're directors, they're actors, and they're going there to get to work. The kind that said it's much harder for women to break through in Hollywood, and it's much harder for people of color to break through, because I don't think there's a studio exec in a tower going, I don't want to hire people of color. They just hire people with most experience. Longoria added, yes, and there has to be you have to develop that, and Hollywood didn't develop that, and having them up jump into like getting rid of the minor leagues and throwing everybody into the major leagues hurts the major leagues. So yeah, it's going to hurt the people that they gave the jobs to who didn't deserve them. That's fucked up. You can't blame a person for taking a job, but maybe as a creative, you could have the wherewithal to go, will this help my legacy? Will this help my resume? If I do Marvel project and fail utterly at it, I mean, because that's what's going to happen. So maybe, you say no. I'm sure the person who said no to the Marvels, I forgot her name, is not regretting it at all. So the Hollywood star turned director producer called for stepped up efforts to build up resumes for people from underrepresented communities. That would be dudes right now in Hollywood, including Latina women. At least she said Latina. That don't always get a leg up to realize their goals. Referencing times when she took to direct or produce a project, Longoria insisted, where possible, she looks at the potential of someone rather than their on-screen credits. And good for her. A lot of talented people. There's a lot of talented people. They just don't have the same resume. Well, there's no way to develop them either. But please enjoy the Saudi Arabia. Wonder how nice they're going to be. Okay, let's take a look at the Golden Globe list. Let's see if Netflix leads. Oh, I love. So here, I guess I can share the article with you. All right, here we go. Here we go. Golden Globe. Okay, the only thing you do is you bring Ricky Gervais back. You pay him whatever you need to pay him, and he roasts people for 2 hours. It'll be more watched than the Oscars. Nobody in Hollywood listens to me or you, because that's what everybody wants. You know what? Like a Hollywood roast. That's what it should always be. I've been asking for this for years, but you get just get the best. You get the best of the best. You get Tony Hinchcliffe. You get Joe Rogan. You get Dave Chappelle. Joe Rogan can MC it. As far as like Joe Rogan comedian, best podcaster on the planet, not in the same league with Dave Chappelle or Tony Hinchcliffe or I just not. Just not. Good comedian. I like his jokes. I do. Best podcast host in the world. Just Ron White. Just get his crew. Get Joe Rogan's crew and Dave Chappelle in there and kill Tony, and then they have and Ricky Gervais. I just planned out like the most watched live TV award show ever. You know that, right? Like just off the top of my head. I'm sure many of you thought about that too. Whatever. Golden Globes nominations list. Amelia Perez leads the film nominations with 10. Followed by The Brutalist, Conclave, Honora, and The Substance. Okay. I've heard of one of those movies. Well, no, I've heard of all those movies because of Chris. The Substance is the only one I'm kind of interested in. The Bear leads TV noms. I've tried that show. It's just not for me. By Only Murders in the Building and Shogun. Shogun was good. Shogun's good. Deserves awards. Sure. Gentleman is better. Penguin is better than Shogun. So we just read that part with the Conclave. Where was overall? I love this. They called Netflix just a distributor. Overall, Netflix leads all distributors, not studios anymore. They're distributors with a total of 26 noms, 13 in film and 23 in TV. A24 follows in film with 12 mentions. Oh, by the way, A24 had a flop. Y2K. A24 movies are cheap, and it still flopped. And HBO Max comes in second in TV with 14. Read more about the snubs and surprises as the well-in-depth anal assists of the noms, not the moms, not the anal assists of the moms. It's the analysis of the noms. Mindy Kaling. Oh. Is there a fucking list? I don't want to hear your rundown. Just give me a list. God damn it. There's no list. Okay, here we go. All right. So best picture. This is going to be a little preview for the Oscars. They usually think, but I'm noticing there isn't a Wicked on this. Chris, I know you're in the chat. Why is there no Wicked on this? Curious. The Brutalist, a complete unknown, which a lot of people are talking about. Timothy Chalamet as a young Bob Dylan. Conclave, Dune Part 2. I saw that. I liked it. Nickel Boys, September 5th. Oh, Wicked will be under this one then. Yeah, there it is. Okay. There it is. My bad. I forgot. They separated it with Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. Honora, Challengers, Amelia Perez, A Real Pain, The Substance, which Chris is going to scream, it should win. It should win. I don't know, Chris, what should win, The Substance or Wicked for this one? You tell me. I got to see The Substance. All right. I got too many Hollywood Reporter articles up. Hang on. Oh, Meryl Streep was snubbed by the Golden Globes. So sad. Best motion picture animated is Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Moana 2, Wallace and Gromit, The Wild Robot. Okay. Cinematic and box office achievement. Oh, this is like you did really good at the box office. Deadpool and Wolverine's going to win that one. God, these awards are lame. Remember, the foreign press, whose people still don't know who they are, were all called racist, and they had to stop this award show for a little bit. Best performance by a female actor in a motion picture. Oh yeah, that's right. The Substance is a comedy. Okay, I was like, where's Demi Moore? There she is. I'm going to tell you right now, I have most of these movies nobody's fucking heard of. The Brutalist, Queer, A Complete Unknown, probably. Sing Sing, Conclave. Sebastian Stan is put in there. I'm Still Here, The Room Next Door, Baby Girl, Maria, The Last Showgirl, Lee. Saturday Night, heard of that one. Kins and Kindreds, Hitman, A Different Man, A Real Pain, Heretic, The Brutalist. Yeah, this isn't this is kind of a brutalist year, as we thought it would be, because they delayed almost everything. Hey, Denzel Washington gets a little nom because he's Denzel. Script. Yeah, in the best television series drama. Let's see. Well, how do we know Squid Game? How is Squid Game there? Squid Game gets nominated a month before it comes out. Not unheard of, but I mean, no Gentleman, no Penguin. Really? Oh, The Gentleman. Okay, The Gentleman's in comedy. Is it it's kind of funny. All right. But no Penguin. No Penguin. Penguin snubbed by the Golden Globes. That shows you how retarded they are. But The Gentleman is there. The Bear will probably win. Oh my God. Kathy Bates is Matlock now. Jesus wept. Oh, Emma DRC for House of the Dragon didn't get a lot of noms either. I see. Well, really good decision, HBO, to cut off those last 2 episodes. It made everybody happy. It was a great compromise. You saved a few bucks, and you cost yourself a lot more. You fucking idiots. But Warner Brothers is a bunch of idiots. All right, we're gonna get the square up part. Let's do it now. Rook takes Rook. George R. Martin is not pretty vital in quotes. He's walking pharmacy ad for diabetes and laziness. Yeah, he might feel vital, but if you've been unhealthy most of your life, you're not going to know like what healthy feels like until you actually experience it. And then you go, oh shit. Eric K for $5. Ryan is describing Robert Pattinson for Snape. skinny white and unhealthy looking. He wouldn't be a bad Snape. They'd have to lots of makeup though. Casey Boyd for $2 says, "Don't worry, the Rohirrim Snyder cut will fix it. I'm sure it will." Oh, Rohirrim, yeah. I'm working on that today. Dan Vasquez, the greatest, says Nico JC for $14.99. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We got Zorbu has gifted 5 Nerdrotic Live memberships. Thank you very much, Zorb. Hey, everybody, what's up? From MPO for $11.99. Cheers. Snuck one in before we turned him off. Thanks, buddy. Kenneth LaRock says, hello, everybody. Jason says, Narf. Angela Richter is gifted a live membership. Metalhead Madman is a new member. Welcome. Noons is gifted 20 Nerdrotic Live memberships. Thank you, Noons. Hey, Gary, recently I scaled back on what I sub to solely due to the repetitiveness of the topics covered. Your solo streams are where I started. Cheers. Thoughts on fitness with Nige. Thanks, brother. Thanks, brother. Excuse my coughing. A little coffee. I have a little coffee. Uh-oh. Okay. Kenneth Rogue says, hey, everybody. And what's up? I don't know what happened. They all just went away. That's so weird. Okay. Back to this. TJ Jordan for 5 with Horizon 2's release date in limbo. Could Warner Brothers throw the remaining movies on Max instead or ever turn them into a miniseries? I didn't. If things are shot, Max can bring them back. Batgirl will never get brought back. But yes, they could throw stuff on Max, like an Air cut. If they did the Air cut, I'm pretty sure they would just toss it on Max. Although if you did I think special screenings like in LA and stuff, you might be able to make a few bucks. But I think you'll see the Air cut someday. I think you will. The way Air put it, he said, James Gunn wants to get a few wins under his belt, and so does Warner Brothers. And like, that kind of makes sense, you know, and then you do it later. Yeah, Creature Commandos not off to a good start. Apparently saying not off to a good start. People just fucking lost their minds over that. It's like, are the Gunn fans going to be like the Snyder fans and they hate each other? So DC, good luck. I hope Superman's great. I've liked a lot of Gunn's past work. A lot. What I haven't liked is his TV. I didn't like Peacemaker season 1, like at all. Some people liked it. I didn't like it at all. I didn't think it was very good. Creature Commandos, it starts out just really flat. Like, and I'm, Gunn wrote this. Gunn, maybe his dialogue is just better when people actually speak it while they're acting instead of being in a voice studio reading it, which is what it sounds like a lot. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it was pretty boring. It was just pretty boring. And everybody's like, oh my God, they made you the bad guy. If that's the case, if for one, it's not the case. It's not the case. I think he's going after more. I think that's a hodgepodge of if you want to think of anything, it's Snyder Bros and then the whole incel thing, like the boys incels and the incels from at the end of Batman, the incel type. That's the new Hollywood bad boy is the incel. Now, people saying specifically it's us or me. If that's the case, fucking awesome. Like, we're the first thing James Gunn thinks of to start the DC universe. Awesome. That's all I got to say. That's fucking rad. I could actually give him some better jokes though. Could roast us way better. There's an easy way to roast us. TJ Jordan for $5. Thank you very much. Wait, isn't Gary reading One Piece? Casey Boyd for $2 slowly. Jay Chain for $1.99. But do you roll their R's in War of the Rohirrim. No, not in a ridiculous sense. No. No. My full thoughts. I've been holding back my thoughts. All right. Doing a full video. That'll tell you everything. It's yeah, you'll find out. You'll find out. It's got member berries though. It's got a little member berries. It just yeah. Hope for $2. Western anime is an authentic as a black samurai. Well, there wasn't a black samurai. There was a guy who was with the samurai. I don't know. Is War of the Rohirrim worse than The Hobbit? No. Oh, no. I mean, worse. Oh, sorry. Is it worse than The Hobbit? Yes. A lot of people don't like The Hobbit, though, and I like The Hobbit. So that's going to be up for debate amongst. But there are things in The Hobbit that I hate. I hate the love triangle and stuff. But The Hobbit still contains a lot of great scenes, a lot of Tolkienian work. Peter Jackson actually worked on it. It was a mess from the start. But yeah, I like The Hobbit. I do. As bloated as it is, I still watch it. I mean, is War of the Rohirrim the worst thing I've seen this year? Not even close. Disappointing? 8 o'clock for $10. If you want a better Tolkien Lord of the Rings type of anime, watch Frarian. Oh, yes. Somebody suggested that. And Gundam's going to pass it on. Gundam's going to pass it on to me. Is Peter Dinklage going to allow them to use dwarves for the goblins? Hurakami, I don't know. If they got to ask Peter Dinklage for sure. Brian McCann. Snape, black and gay. Lily being like her sister, cruel, but a witch. Snape is in love with James. Sirius is in love with James. Yep, that could be the new show. That could be. Did you see this banger of a headline? Hang on. This is a pretty good headline. Thought it was Babylon B. You see this? From CBR. Harry Potter reboot rejects 42-year-old man for Hermione as thousands audition for main roles. What a bunch of bigots. Transphobes. In September, Warner Brothers posted a casting call for the 3 lead actors to play Harry, Hermione, and Ron in the new Harry Potter reboot. Over 32,000 audition tapes were sent in, including some very interesting ones. Per Daily Mail, a 42-year-old man tried his chance to get an audition to play Hermione Granger. The casting agents are reportedly going through thousands of audition tapes daily, and the lead role's age limit was between 9 and 11. The man was not successful in his bid to become the new Hermione Granger after Emily Watson played the role in the original films. I call sexism, ageism, all the isms. All the isms. TJ Jordan for $5. I highly recommend the series finale of Superman and Lois. Even if you don't like the show, just the final 15 minutes is beautiful and left me in tears. I'll kind of get through it. You know what? I didn't hate the show. I just fell off it and just. And after I thought the CW didn't exist anymore. I forgot the CW existed. The CW that never turned a profit, not one. Harukami for 10 British pounds, proper money. JK only ever said there are only 2 genders. Yes. Super Telecom for 5 Australian dollars. Great. The only way I'm watching this show is if the Weasleys are all Pakistani gingers and Harry is a Syrian refugee claiming to be 11. He's 32. That could happen. There are boys and girls restrooms. Girls can go into, for example, Hermione, like girls can go into the common room and inside of even inside where the sleeping quarters of the boy wizards, but the boys cannot go in with the girls. One time Ron tried to chase Hermione up and it turned into a slide and he fell down because boys aren't as trustworthy. Pretty well stated in the book. Shurigatwa for Lupin. Make the AIDS analogy with Remus and effeminate black guy, says Bill Kane. Oh, they're just giving him ideas now. Andy L. Dion for 2 British pounds. Adam Driver is Snape. Doubt he'll sign for 7 years. Yeah, that's gonna be tough. Hogwarts Legacy was the canary. Modern LA diversity in the 1890s. Britain even including married lesbians and Decepticons. Yes. Yes. Harry has to play with his Choi Truck Chang for $4.99. Jeremy David for $2. Wouldn't Black Snape pronounce it Axio? Maybe. That's kind of close, to be honest with you. Gohan creates Prometheus Creations for $10. Adam Driver would have been a perfect swap. Yep. Jacob Koberholm for 50 Norwegian krona says Professor Snape is based on a real professor named John Lawrence Nettleship. There are plenty of photos available online. This is true. Nettleship. Yep. Snape's a bit uglier than that, though. He passed away in 2011. R.I.P. R.I.P. Where was I? The shine from Ryan's forehead. It's blinding, says Nate's Brick Channel. Oh, Ryan's never going to live this down now. Snape will be back black now because they will call it racist if they don't race swap him now. Remember, JK is a devout wokist. She just understands biology. Yes, I totally agree. JK Rowling is not putting on MAGA hats or anything. Heche has no home here. Talking about Anne Heche, R.I.P. What did Hollywood do to her? Shane Kina for $5. Where the 2010s are dominated by terrible writing, the 2020s are dominated by terrible casting and terrible writing. I think, the writings did start going downhill in the 2010s, but we're in a complete different universe right now as far as bad writing. So now when we get something like competent, like even like Reacher season 2 was like competent television. And it just feels like such a breath of fresh air. You're like, oh my God. It's the, Eddie Murphy, Ritz cracker, a starving man finds a Ritz cracker in the desert. It's the greatest thing he's ever tasted. It's the best food he's ever had. It's true. Today's episode was brought to you by the letter H. A black master of potions. What's he going to call him? Sir Mix-a-Lot, master of lotions. I like Horcrux, and I cannot lie. Oh, thank you for $5. Clint Orris for $2. I read that one. Bethany for $10. Wow. Who's the hot Brazilian guy? I'm not Brazilian, but my name's Gary. Thank you. I might have a Brazilian. You never know. There is no Heish here. Heish instead of that's actually, we were making fun of Shad saying H. He goes H. Seal Akib for $1.99. Hey everyone, what new shows are you all watching? I am continuing to watch Landman. Gonna try out The Agency. Haven't done that yet. Try Dune and then dipped out because it was terrible. But yeah, the only new show I'm waiting and Yellowstone. I didn't catch last night's episode. Not yet. There's only a couple left. It's too bad Costner couldn't see it through. It's too bad those boys, Sheridan and Costner's ego were never going to stay in the fact that it stayed in the same place for so long is pretty incredible. But yeah, their breakup was over an argument. That one guy, Hashbo, the Creature Commandos. A lot of people on Twitter loved it. And that's fine. I found it to be some of James Gunn's worst work, but I say that about Peacemaker too. It has some characters like I actually am interested in. I like the obscure, like horror-based characters in both DC and Marvel. Those are kind of like some of my favorite. So I was down, but then it's really typical and it's dated. And if you're going to be funny, be funny. That's all I care about. When they roasted like Us Lightly in South Park, I was disappointed. I was like, oh, come on, guys. You could do better, but they probably have no idea. James Gunn has no idea who I am, has no idea who most of us are. He's very busy making movies. So I think it's just that trope is in his head. Going back to 2016. But again, if it's us and we're in his head, holy shit, that's awesome. But it's not. It's fucking not. Chud. Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. Yes, Chud the movie. I'm old enough to remember when Chud meant cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. Yeah. Oh, I imagine that's where they got it from. I don't care. How are things culturally going right now? How's that culture war going? How's it going? Oh, not well for them. They've all slithered off in the blue sky. Have fun. See you back on Twitter in a year or two. Or not. I don't care. Maximus BT for 99 cents. Thank you for the donation. Hi, wonderful FNT crew and Ryan. Dan, you're too talented not to be a super rich rock star. The 80s should have been your decade. Chrissy, you should have already owned your 5-night-a-week contract deal in Caesars Las Vegas. Yeah, born in the wrong time, those two. Thank you, Iron Morgan. Piston, when will Man Buns Are More Gay Than Jeremy come out? When it comes out, when he's done. Disparu, you're an Ada Wong guy, right? Big Resi 4. Yes, he is. Resident Weevil for $1.99. I tire of movies starring villains and side characters without the superhero. I know you guys like the Penguin Show, but I really dislike this trend. I mean, I think the Penguin series, was it inspired because Joker did well? Maybe. I don't know. But they pulled it off. And I am the last person who wants a peripheral Batman show. I've bitched about that forever. But if they do something good, well, they have a path now that they can make this a Batman TV show. I think it'll be far more interesting than waiting a couple more years for the follow-up to this. So you have a success. And I'm fine with not rushing to duplicate it if you're actually trying to figure out what made it a success. But you have a success, and every time that happened to Warner Brothers recently, they already had something in the works because of their knee-jerk decisions before to where they can't expand on that success. So when they do get a win, like the Penguin, which quite frankly is the first DC win since the first Joker, which is the first DC win since Wonder Woman and Aquaman, of the rare DC wins. Now, I think if DC looks back on things and looks at, where the Snyder verse was going, it was making money. It was generating money. I don't know how much it made. I don't know how expensive Snyder's movies were. Maybe they were too expensive. I got to check back on the budgets on that, but they were generating money, like money a lot of superhero movies wish they had right now. That's undeniable. When he was still around. And then they stopped when they said, nope, the universe is going to end. And we're going to reboot it. And remember, they rebooted it 3 times. So there was Snyderverse. Then Joss Whedon came in. Snyder was kicked out. So it was like zombie Snyderverse, but it was a soft reboot into something lighter and more Marvel. And then when they were just about to reboot again, The Rock was out, Cavill was out, and they rebooted again with James Gunn. That probably hurts your brand. And, I admire James Gunn's confidence. Guy's a confident dude. And he should be. He's made some good movies. Good luck with this one. I think the saving grace from Creature Commandos is it's just a fucking cartoon. So, and it brings in some lore from former James Gunn stuff. And it's not like cringe and horrible like The Acolyte. It's watchable. It's really flat. That's it. It's really flat. Throwing some Zargons your way because you finally got a hot guy on the panel. Makes nice change. Thanks, Gary. Says Ruby. What do you mean finally? We had Az on for 2 years. Jesus. He died for nothing now. Just in that statement. You finally got a hot guy on. We have Az on for 2 years. The man dies. And you just disrespect. He died for nothing. Brian Smart. What's up, Brian Smart, for $5? I have heard through multiple sources that Snow Woke is slated to be permanently shelved and never see the theater. Oh, Jesus. Is that Mike Zero? Then it has to be true. If I heard it from Mike Zero, you just got the God's honest truth from an honest man with integrity. He's got integrity. Blake for $5. Shad and Disbrew. Happy Watt Day. Also, did you see the Watt leather bounds that Sanderson? Oh, Wheel of Time. What's a Watt? Is it Wheel of Time Day? I need to be a Sanderson fan. That guy just finishes his books. I need to make that happen. Someday. I'm reading John Carter of Mars right now. Such a damn good book. John Carter of Mars. Where was I? You still there, X-Ray Girl? Yeah, you are. Look, hi. Can't hear her, but
Hi. Sorry, I'm muted.
okay. Just
I'm
check.
around.
Just checking. Gohan creates Prometheus Creations for $20. Says Hail 199 and iDots. Gary, my man, I have a question from a Trekkie to a Trekkie from a Trekkie. Okay, a Trekkie. See, people used to like, I'm a Trekker. I don't like being called Trekkie. Fuck that. Own that shit. Now there's Trekkers out there, and that's fine. You can be a Trekker, but I never hated the Trekkie thing. And they hated the Trekkie thing like pretty early on. Pretty early on. Would you like to co-host with me for a Trek cast? I would love to have you on. It will be a rotation and only once a week. Let me know. I would happily guest if we could find the time. I cannot commit to anything other than guesting. I do how many streams a week now? 5? 5 streams a week. And that is 5 Schnitzenglumens is my limit. It's my limit. I need a couple days off to actually make videos. I got to make one today. As a matter of fact, I'm making videos for the next 3 days. 3 days. That's why we're on time limits today. Black Snape, me and Lily were real close until the roofies wore off. Then she woke up and talked about pressing charges. Little scary movie. I just tuned in to see what's been going on now that I'm back from Japan. The first thing I hear is I want to eat some balls now. Never change, guys. Alundis for $5. Yes, that you know, that was Jeremy, and he wasn't even there. Panel, how many of you are cheating on Gary with Path of Exile 2 right now? All of them were. Those sons of bitches. What does Dan's gardener, Chrissy, and X-Ray Girl have in common? They only come once a year. Hashtag free Chrissy Myers boobs. Still unjustly imprisoned. No, they get out once in a while because they actually serve their purpose, feeding little Frank and Big Frank too. Hail FNT and Dan Vass. Dan, since you haven't posted a new song in a month, we were worried you were no longer with us. Now make another Christmas classic. Dan couldn't create due to the rise of actual real fascism in his country. Brightest Day Audiobook Productions LLC for $2. If you ever do raid Shadow Legends, we riot. Dude, no. They've offered many times. The answer is no. Just dropped my pair of Raycons in the parking lot. Not a scratch. Says 8 o'clock for $5. Yeah, they're good. Used them last night while I was listening to John Carter of Mars. Hey, LFT, are y'all going to watch Secret Level when it comes out next week? Probably not. Maybe somebody will, but I probably won't. Perry Chan has the ability to be absolute fucking menace to society, but decides to just shitpost on this train wreck of a channel, and it's amazing. Thank you. Crew Kid 52. His shit post is art. It's the art of the shit post. I'll have you know. Rumple for $5. What will release first? Winds of Winter or the Chronicles of Everfall? The Chronicles of Everfall, because the Winds of Winter is not coming out. George probably had a lot of it written, went back and fucked it up, and now he can't get out of his fuck up. Got out of the hospital in time for FNT. Hail the fellowship and fuck off OSF Healthcare, says Henry T for $5. Welcome back out of the hospital. Fuck it. Yeah. Adelarius Gallant for 5 Canadian pesos. Thank you all for the inspiration. The fellowship, from the fellowship and the Iron Age to create content myself. I am now officially following a dream as a VTuber. Hail. Oh, well done. Well done. As long as you're having fun. Perry Chan is a genius. Yes, he is, Eric K. Thank you for $2. Angelo Lopez for $5. Also, I was excited for Harry Potter TV series, so was I, but now I'm not sure. It would be ironic if the show fails. Daniel and Emma Watson will be laughing so hard. Yep. It's not a good sign, but we don't know if that casting is true yet. Magnum Norse for $10. Snape's new spell is expel child support. Jake Skywalker for $19.99. Hail FNT. Would you mind saying hi to my sweet dog, Honey? Hi, dog. Dogs are listening to FNT. It's a really important demographic. Cats and dogs. She's never missed an FNT in her whole life. And sadly, her time with us is coming to an end. Oh, no. It is our ritual to watch every week. She loves you, and thanks for the memories. Oh, poor doggo. Well, hopefully she makes one more. Just one FNT at a time. Maybe she hits another 300.
Careful for the next one.
If Snape sniggers at Harry, is it a hate crime? It won't be in the show, but it should be. I don't know. I don't. Hollywood's carousel of identity politics is funny. It's funny how they paint themselves in the corners and they end up being as racist as they think everybody else is, because it's called projection. Grandmaster Chris for $9.99. Disney didn't spend $4 billion for shows that were not terrible. They did so for billions of dollars of films and shows with Game of Thrones level viewership. They don't deserve the benefit of the doubt. They do not. They never ever do. They deserve doubt. That's what they deserve, my friend. Jesus Davila has gifted one Nerdrotic membership. All Terrain Nation has gifted one Nerdrotic membership. Cold Smurf has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships, and Mike Zero's Source has gifted $25 with it's 5 gifted memberships. Thank you very much. Hey, Mike Zero's Source is here. That's awesome. Gogu for $5. Any optimism for Travis Knight's Masters of the Universe 2026? Masters of the Universe is a sleeping giant, but I have very little faith. Travis Knight, interesting director, though. I think, man, if you're going to make a Masters of the Universe movie, you need to make it now. I think the time is actually kind of passed on that. Masters of the Universe is, I think, early millennial, Gen X. I can't even remember when it was on. Like, I did not watch He-Man. Full disclosure. I'm aware of it. It was around. I watched my friends watch it, but it wasn't my thing. But I might have been the right age. I can't remember. I just feel like the time's kind of passing on that one. Marshall D for $5. EIEI Dan Bask. I love tuning into you guys on Fridays, though hate the current state of Hollywood and wish your job was just talking about how much you love stuff coming out. We do that when it comes out, when they make it. Me and my friends watch anime like Demon Slayer and JJK in the place of Hollywood. Just in the place of Hollywood. Yeah. And that's good. I watch older Hollywood in the place of Hollywood. Or I try to check out something new once a week. But there's a ton of shit out there. You cannot watch all the TV shows that are out there. It's impossible. But most of it is mediocre to shit. Rumor 02012 or something like that. Sorry, for $5. I guess they are going to go with the abandoned title for the first Harry Potter book, Harry Potter and the British Society of Magical Negroes. There you go. There you go. Did not know that was an abandoned title. You learn something every day. Jordan E. Christopher for $10 says, thank you guys. Thanks to you guys, I was able to publish my pulp fantasy novella last week. Paladin of the State Origins. It follows a priest who befriends a girl in her search for vengeance and winds up hired by the government to fight demons. Hail the Iron Age. Love fighting demons. Actually, I don't. It was not fun. It's still not fun. But you do it every day. Christmas movie death match, Bad Batter Santa versus Elf. Volume Dealer 1. Thank you. Brazil's Mexicans are Haitian Ryan. Says Minor Zircon. Okay. I had 100 followers on Rumbler, just as Trudeau goes full tyrant. Sorry. I already threw the link in the chat. So here's my ad revenue. Oh, I don't care. Throw links in the chat if you can, or run them by our mods who can actually do it. Oh, Ryu Planeswalker for $5. They're gonna make Snape gay for James instead of being in love with Lily. I said that. That's the first thing I said. Captain African American is coming out in February because it's Black History Month. Disney Snow White is coming out in March because it's Women's History Month. The card will be played. Oh, yes, I definitely mentioned that many times, but yes, you are correct. Thank you, M. Is it M. Jord? Or yeah, it's M. Yeah, that's a J. That's a snapping turtle. Those things can bite off your limbs in one snap, says Miner Zircon. Yep. Vault 95 Survivor for $5. Snow White became the one who got the to lead the Numenorian army in Glorious Revolution. Yes. Declarations War for $1. From the forest to the castle, my father's kingdom shall be free. Hail FNT from Debrew that do. Jacob Wolf 96 for $1 says, will Craven beat Rohirrim at the box office? It might. Neither of them are going to do very well, but one of them is a cartoon. So one of them is a cartoon. So I'm not like, I think it would be very disingenuous to go out and say we were expecting War of the Rohirrim to do $1 billion. I think realistically, you got to think just whatever your average anime would do in the box office, maybe helped, by the Lord of the Rings brand, but we'll see how the public reacts. I don't know if normies are going to mind. We'll see. We will see. It could, I don't know. Let's see what the budget was. It's probably not much. Relatively. War of the Rohirrim budget. No mention. No mention. Yeah, I think they released it already overseas. I saw it 2 weeks ago, but I've been holding off. Yeah, you'll get the review Thursday, I think. Thursday. And it did per Variety, I'm just reading this. Moana 2 hits excuse me, 600 million at the global box office. Holy shit. So that's definitely going to be so I think that hits $1 billion. So that's going to hit $1 billion. So Disney will get the $3 billion. We didn't think we'd get one. I thought if we were going to get one for sure, it was Wolverine Deadpool. And I think people might have predicted this one. Not sure about Inside Out 2, but those are going to be the $3 billion films, and ticket sales are still down 30%. But War of the Rohirrim fizzles overseas with 2 million debut. I'm guessing they were hoping for a little more than that. But there's no budget reported, so I don't know. I don't know. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Ian. Craven Moorhead. So I think Craven will do better, but it's still going to flop. And they both come out the same day. So it's going to be interesting because I'm going to a thing on Thursday. So I'm going to have to see Craven in the morning before the show. So Friday Night Tights will be starting a half an hour later this week. Okay. So I can go see my movie because Craven's not it's not getting the full distribution. So there's no 10 a.m. showings. The earliest showing is like 12:40. It's 2 fucking hours long. So yeah. A Black Master of Potions. What are they going to call him? Sir Mix-a-Lot, Masters like Horcrux. I read that one already. Black Snape Gay. Silva J, read that one already too. Slain Hope for $2. Fuck it. Make everyone in the Harry Potter series a dwarf, just a giant middle finger to Peter Dinklage. I don't care who the race swapped that. Peter Dinklage don't give a shit. Did anyone ever play Indiana Jones Staff of the Kings? Oh, yeah, all the time. 100,000 point. Oh, I have over 100,000 followers on Rumble. Congrats, says Marco Reality. Cheers. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Matthew Hammond for $2. What's your Mount Rushmore of directors where solid? Oh, we answered this one. Mine are Tony Scott, Christopher Nolan, Robert Zemeckis, and Alfred Hitchcock. Man, those are good directors. But I already did my Mount Rushmore, which is like Alfred Hitchcock, Stanley Kubrick, Terry Gilliam, and Steven. Did I say Steven Spielberg? Steven Spielberg, Terry Gilliam, Stanley Kubrick, and Alfred Hitchcock. I mean, pretty basic answers, to be honest with you. I'd put Fincher up there, but Fincher's like done some really flat movies, but man, he was close. I love his he's good. I think Terry Gilliam as a director is so completely underrated, and he's super artist, avant-garde, Renaissance man, pain in the ass to deal with, basically, right? So I understand that, but like, just look at his directing style for everything he does. It oozes with style and surrealism, and that he's such a fucking great director. There will be nobody like him. Cold Smurf, how do you all feel about Secret Level's promos being released? I know about Secret Level, but I haven't heard a thing about it. Not a thing about it. But I'll check it out. Yeah, the only thing, like, Michael Fassbender has a series on Showtime called The Agency. That it's got stupid Richard Gere, but it's got a good cast, right? So it's like, maybe I'll check it out. But as far as new stuff coming out, there's too many movies right now. But I'll be real, this year, streaming shows have been a lot better than movies, the ones I've seen. Now, I haven't seen every, I'm like Chris, I don't go to an independent movie every weekend. God, no. Hell no. But as far as the big tentpole stuff, been a bad year. It's been a bad fucking year. A bad year. But for shows, I can think of top 5 TV shows right now. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do a video on it. The Burke for $5. All things considered, is Professor Flitwick still going to be played by a midget? That isn't Peter the Dink. You would think so. Matthew Hammond for $2. According to an announcement at LostCon, we are getting a new sci-fi series, The Moat in God's Eye, with Joseph Malazzi as showrunner, executive producer and writer, Dr. Harry Cool, and executive producer and writer. Cool. What's it about? I'll look it up, though. Wasn't Kickapoo from Tenacious D movie Dio and Meatloaf's last song? Maybe. I mean, I know he did a Heaven and Hell show when he was sick. I can't remember how close it was to when he died, though. Rest in peace, Dio. X-Ray Girl has the dirtiest mind here. Who is she kidding? Says Maud Eric for $1. She will disagree. She will disagree. All right, that's it, folks. That's it for the Nooner. That's it for the Square Up. As far as I know.
There's some rants if you want to read it. And
is it the big thing? Okay. Yeah.
Just on the main. Yeah. And then the BJ user Streamlabs that we talked about earlier.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. We'll read. So BJ user 69. So I guess this Streamlab was sent. I think he was watching the VOD, and he sent it during the VOD. So I'm reading it now of Friday Night Tights. I know how to save Star Wars, a trilogy. Darth Tidius, a Star Wars story starring Haley Atwell and Sydney Sweeney. DT, the rule of two. Then I can't decide. Darth Tidius versus DP, Darth Plagueis, or Darth Tidius, DDD versus Death Dealer or Dathomir. I go for the tits every time, buddy. I go for the tits. B-Chain threw on 5 a rant for $10. Hail. Sent Daily a super referencing Maidens, The Prisoner, and Dan Penny. No reaction from Jeremy or Ryan, LOL. Speaking of, finished their discography last week. What an experience. Top 3 band easily. Shaky J for $5. Y'all should watch Hentai Kamen. It's an underrated Japanese superhero. The movies are great. I'm interested to hear Frank and Chris's take on it. Hentai Kamen. Is that like hentai? Hentai is not my thing. But if it's not, then I don't know. Also, you might like the Frankenstein Halloween party on Königstein Island in Germany. It was at Frankenstein's castle since 1977 until they started historical renovations in 2023. It's an awesome experience. Actually, CHUD means chemical hazardous urban disposal. Says occupant 42 for $10. There you go. Eddie Brock 9043 says, did you hear the all new Venom? All new Venom is one of 4 possible suspects. Luke Cage, Robbie Robertson, Madam Mask, or Rick Jones. Fuck. Eddie Brock is now the new Carnage. Marvel Comics is screwed. Stop changing things. The only person I think would be interesting as a Venom is Rick Jones. But Eddie Brock is Venom. But Marvel's everybody's everybody now. You know, we do a what if Miles Morales is Spider-Man, but comic companies and publishers cyclically run out of ideas. That's why they do events and they ground things and they come up with new ideas and try to do stuff a little more interesting. But that takes talent. So now that you've weeded all the talent out of the big 2, or you have the same, fucking idiots like Mark Waid, who's like decades past his prime, poisonous to work with, not a good writer, terrible Daredevil, right? Not a good writer, still there. And recycling Bendis. I mean, these guys are decades past their prime, right? It's not surprising. That's why I just stopped. Like, there's so many older comics I haven't read that I could spend the rest of my life reading. It's not worth getting frustrated like really with comics, because like even with TV and film, there's like good things still come out. Thank God, good things still come out. That's not really the case with comics. It's a gimmick, but we're not seeing like, hey, there was a comic creator out there who really wanted to bring in good stories and good artists, and you need the combination of both. You do. And wanted to start like small, and that person said, fuck it, after they saw all the bullshit, after Piscor, after all this stuff. It's like, this industry doesn't even make enough money to be worth it. Okay. They say it's a $2 billion industry. The American comic book industry is more of a $600 million industry. The American superhero comic book. The comic book industry is conflated with manga and book sales and all kinds of crazy shit. The superhero comic, which has had its time, unfortunately, it just doesn't matter anymore, is a $600 to $800 million industry. That's including trades. That's minuscule. The gaming industry, 145 billion. Movie industry, 50 billion, something like that, On the Nooner on Thursday, you said, all right, hinting something big. I'm guessing Matthew McConaughey as Ghost Rider. No. He would have been a good Ghost Rider. He's a little old. No, what did I hint at the last? Oh, I hinted at you're going to get some news. And I'm not going to provide it to you. I'm not going to be the one. Like, I know some news right now that if I made a video, a little scooper video, I could probably get a lot of views on it. Probably make a lot of money. No, I would make a lot of money on this. People would say it's bullshit. People would go, whoa, it's actually some good news that I know. It's excellent news that I know that you'll find out on your own. And when that comes out, but I left a hint. I left a pretty big hint on the last Nooner, which I am not going to repeat because I don't want to get in trouble. But I left a pretty obvious hint of what it could be. So nobody's ever going to timestamp it. But if you do, you'll know that's where it came from. But there is some news concerning Marvel that will excite people. That will legitimately excite people concerning a future movie. There's also some bad news. There's also some pretty bad news. I'm allowed to speak freely about it. I need a little more time to pass. I need a little more time to pass. Now, if you guys don't know by the end of the year, all right, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. But I can say it is, if true, which this guy's not been wrong once. It's a sign that Marvel's trying to turn around. As far as it's an action proving that Marvel is trying to turn around. Now, are they undoing female Silver Surfer? No. Are they undoing Ironheart? No. What I was told with Ironheart is they just have to come out with it because they literally painted themselves in the identity politics corner. So they kicked a can down the road so they wouldn't have so many losses back to back. So they wanted to get a win before throwing in Agatha. Then later on, throw out Ironheart. Internally, Marvel, and they'll never say this publicly, not super excited for Cap 4. They are excited about the Thunderbolts. They feel very good about it. Not so excited about Ironheart. Really excited to get to the stuff where they're going to turn stuff around because they apparently have acknowledged they fucked up. Now, we will see. We will see. Do not take my word for it. I'm not going to take that person's word for it. I will wait and see. I will wait and see. Gary, what is your opinion on an absolute universe in DC? In my opinion, the whole thing sounds like a redo done by a teenager in his atheist, communist, edgy phase. That's what it sounds like. Connor's mugshot. That's what it sounds like. And I'm not interested in an ultimate DC. Has X-Ray Girl started Stargate? How does she like it? Skip Emancipation episode, says Matthew Hammond. I don't know. You'll have to ask her. Brandon Lucas for $5 says, at the end of let that be your battlefield, there was only one respective member of the two warring black and white species left. Yep. Grimmeister 94 for $5. We walk the streets at night. We go where eagles dare. They pick up your movement. They pick up every loser with jaded eyes and feet and features. You think they really care? Ava Longoria is part of the Diddy list. That is why she is moving, says Maud Eric. There you go. I wouldn't be surprised. Yesterday, I meant to donate on Streamlabs is broken on iPhone. What's the mandatory viewing for FNT this week? Craven or War of the Rohirrim? Yes, they're both mandatory viewing. We cover pop culture. We cover pop culture. It's what we do. Jose Contreras. Now, like, you guys don't have to, but like those of us who host the show should. I mean, we cover it. Season's greeting, Gary. Looking forward to rewatching my favorite far right Lord of the Rings trilogy this week. The behind the scenes diaries are worth the purchase alone. Absolutely, Kung Fu. Robert Meyer Burnett, who will be on this Friday, had something to do with some of the greatest special features ever made on the Lord of the Rings disc. John Ford, Cecil DeMille, Hitchcock, Coppola, Valiant Renegade doubts Moana gets 1 billion. Huge second week drop. It's at 600 million worldwide. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Let me see. Did it have let's see, by the numbers. I mean, being at 600 million already is pretty good. There we go. Yeah, 63% drop. That's pretty big. That's a pretty big drop. And there was a 57% drop with Wicked. Yeah, maybe not. We'll see. We will see. According to Chris and Alan Ing, who saw Moana 2, said the story is not good. It's not going to engage adults. Its total gross domestically is 300 million. I don't know if this has been updated recently. 320 for Wicked, 132 for Gladiator. The total box office for Wicked is, Wicked's not hitting $1 billion. Wicked's not hitting $1 billion after it's doing amazing in America, but it is not doing well internationally at all. So it's within projection. It's not like I don't care. So it's 455 million worldwide at the box office. So I think it might top out at 600 million. We'll see how the legs go through December, maybe a little more. But Wicked will not be getting $1 billion. Looked like it for a minute, but those international numbers just completely fucked it. All right, let's take a look at Gladiator, which is probably overperforming internationally. But not that, yeah. So it's overperforming internationally, making almost 100 million more than domestically, which doesn't mean shit because internationally, they take up to 60% of the ticket, sometimes 75% of the ticket. So you're not making as much money. Worldwide box office total for Gladiator 2 is 368,443. It'll be lucky if it hits $500 million. It'll be lucky, but it is not going to make its money back, ladies and gentlemen. It is not going to make its money back. It's fucked. It's not a good movie. Moana 2. I'm not going to show you any of this. You're just going to have to take my word for it. Worldwide box office is at domestic is 300 million and international is 300 million. This was was it really projected at for this far for 350 million? Yeah, that's okay. This is odd, but it's based on past. Okay, I'll show you this real quick before we go. This is odd. All right. So, yeah. So it was doing fine and started underperforming for some reason. I don't know why it's got that up to 350 million. That's a pretty big projection. And maybe they were off. They're actually off on it, but $600 million in 2 weeks. Pretty good. Pretty good. But let's keep in mind, Doctor Strange Mom did over 450 in the first weekend and did not reach $1 billion. So Valiant might be right on that one. We'll see. It's not looking good, but it's possible still. What you got to watch out with these, especially with Inside Out 2, is the legs on these fuckers are amazing because there's nothing else coming out. Now, will Mufasa bite into Moana? Will Mufasa take a bite out of Moana? I don't care. I don't care. We'll see. Thanks for your recommendations for the Kirk audiobook, Star Trek Odyssey. Excellent. And a good follow-up to Unification. Yeah. How about the Return? He reads the Return. I think it's a like a edited down version, right? All right. Yeah, as far as the Marvel stuff, yeah, I can't say shit right now, but there's some good news. What kind of hints can I give? I already gave, like, again, I can't do what I did last week. Could I? I'll just say it's an announcement of two already established characters, right? Two already established characters, heavy hitters, dudes, in a movie you wouldn't necessarily expect to see them in, or wait, one of them in. Not necessarily. And the other one has deep connections to the main, I almost said the character, to the main character of the movie. It's not an Avengers movie. It's a solo characters movie. That's all I can say. You'll be excited about it. I think you'll be really excited about it. Daniel Penny has been completely released, right? That's it. That's good. Want to hear what he has to say before we go? I can't recall us hearing a lot from Daniel Penny. It's horrible that he had to go through this. And it's a bad situation. Okay, we don't want anybody to die or get choked out. We don't want mentally ill people like putting themselves in danger on trains or putting other people in danger on trains. We don't want any of this. So what the city decides to do is not to look into that problem, look into fixing substance abuse and all that. They want to prosecute a dude because he's white. Because I promise you, if it was another guy, no, what? Oh, wait. There have been circumstances where it wasn't a white guy. Charges dropped, as they should have been. Okay. It's a tragedy. It's an absolute tragedy. But why make it more tragic? Of course, the government finds a way to make it more tragic. And this is also, some lawyers can make it look like they're fucking doing something. They did this to showboat. They fucking, like, this guy's life is fucked now, because he'll always be looked at by a bunch of low information idiots as some kind of villain, right? Or commies. And it's because some fucking lawyers wanted to look good. And they don't now. They don't now. Let's hear what he has to say.
East Village in Manhattan, so I take the subway multiple times a day. In this instance, I was coming from school. I got out of class around 2:15, and I took I was at J Street Metro Tech, took the Uptown F train. At 2nd Avenue, a man came on, stumbled on. He appeared to be on drugs. The doors closed, and he ripped his jacket off and threw it at the people sitting down to my left. I was listening to music at the time, and he was yelling, so I took my headphones out to hear what he was yelling. And the three main threats that he repeated over and over was, "I'm going to kill you. I'm prepared to go to jail for life, and I'm willing to die." This was a scary situation. And Mr. Nearly came on. He was threatening. I'm 6'2", and he was taller than me. So it was, and there's a common misconception that Marines don't get scared. We're actually taught one of our core values is courage. And courage is not the absence of fear, but how you handle fear. And, I was scared for myself, but I looked around, I saw women and children. He was yelling in their faces, saying these threats. I couldn't just sit still. Some people say that I was holding on to Mr. Nearly for 15 minutes. This is not true. I mean, between stops is only a couple minutes. So the whole interaction lasted less than 5 minutes. Some people say I was trying to choke him to death, which is also not true. I was trying to restrain him. You can see in the video, there's a clear rise and fall of his chest, indicating that he's breathing. I'm trying to restrain him from him being able to carry out the threats. And then some people say that this was about race, which is absolutely ridiculous. I didn't see a black man threatening passengers. I saw a man threatening passengers, a lot of whom were people of color. A man who helped restrain Mr. Neely was a person of color. And a few days after the incident, I read in the papers that a woman of color came out and called me a hero. I don't believe that I'm a hero, but she was one of those people that I was trying to protect. We were all scared. Mr. Neely was yelling in these passengers' faces, and they looked terrified. The reason why there was no video at the start of the altercation was because people were too afraid getting away from him, and the videos didn't start until they saw that situation was under control. I knew I had to act, and I acted in a way that would protect the other passengers, protect myself, and protect Mr. Neely. I used this hold to restrain him, and I did this by leaving my hand on top of his head to control his body. You can see in the video, there's a clear rise and fall of his chest, indicating that he was still breathing. And I'm calibrating my grip based on the force that he's exerting. And I was trying to keep him on the ground until the police came. I was praying that the police would come and take this situation over. I didn't want to be put in that situation, but I couldn't just sit still and let him carry out these.
But they want you to sit still now. They want you to sit still. They want you to be afraid. They want you to be afraid because if you're in a constant state of fear, then you need them, and they will come in and be the savior. Problem, reaction, solution. Government creates the problem. They wait for something to happen. Once something that happens, they have a solution for the problem they created. Fear. Fear. They want you afraid. They wanted you afraid during the coup. They want you constantly afraid so they can save you. We need more tax money because Ukraine, the situation that the United States started, could lead to World War III, and we need to stop it. Well, who started it? We did. Yep. Playing some silly games. Hopefully, in just under 40 days, those games end. But they're going to go out swinging, aren't they? All right. Thanks, everybody. I want you to all have a good day. Thanks to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everyone who left super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. Thank you, X-Ray Girl. We'll see you next time. See you on Real BBC tomorrow. Catch you later.